really happy about that. So yeah, but we are going to get into our players of the week for week one here. So the nominees that we announced yesterday, if I remember correctly, we had Box Turtles, had JD Plays, and we had JK. So Bagels, I don't know. Have you? I don't want to ask this if you don't know, but do you have any insight about these three players? Have you heard anything about either of them?
I know very little about them, but I
That's
know Box. I know people have mentioned Box before, and I know that he's been around, and I know he's decent. I'm surprised that KN isn't in the running, as I brought it up on the cast before, but he wanted to be on stream, and he got on stream, and his team with the 3-0 sweep, he was on Faded. So I think he had a good performance, and their team's 2-0.
Yeah, no, he definitely did the tough thing for Faded. I believe they forgot to submit their replays for Wednesday, so we don't have full stats on them. So unfortunately, that kind of hurt him a little bit, only playing 3 games. But he did have a good performance. Just from the 3 games, he's averaging 1 goal per game and 1 assist per game. So he definitely was solid. But our prospect league player of the week, that is going to go to JD Plays from Melons. He is our player of the week, 1.33 goals per game. He's shooting 46% in those games, also tacked on 0.67 saves and 0.33 assists. So JD Plays from Melons. They are 2-0 this week, top of the Eastern Conference. So Melons and JD Plays, congratulations on the player of the week.
Yeah, definitely. Good for him. It's unfortunate that Faded missed out. They were slacking slacking on the replays. Could have been KN. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what happens. Always got to submit those replays. That's a reminder. Make sure to save your replays, guys, and submit them. Starting next week, we're gonna have you're only gonna get one more replay grace throughout the rest of the season. So you're running thin. This whole week was a grace week, but next week, that's when it's gonna start. You're gonna use up your one grace if you don't submit. So always make sure you save all your replays and submit them to the website. So yeah, so you get a chance to win some awards like Player of the Week. But it is what it is. And JD, he's definitely deserving. I mean, 1.33 goals, great performance from him. So congratulations to JD Plays. And now we are going to be moving on to our Challenger League Players of the Week. So our nominees that we had yesterday, we had Mirrorly from Spectre, we had Icon from Drake's, and then our third one that we had on here was Clamps from Bishops. And all three of these teams, they went 2-0 this season. Bagels, I'll bring it to you again. I know this is Challenger. I know your expertise is in Titan, but I have to ask: have you heard anything about either of these three players?
Once again, I unfortunately have not, but I know that they were all playoff teams from season 1, and like you said, they've all been 2-0 to start here. So I'd look to those teams to try and stay hot in season 2 and be returning playoff teams.
Yeah, for sure. All these teams were solid last season. They're looking good. Spectre, Drakes, Bishops, like you said, all three playoff teams. They're all 2-0, so they are definitely keeping up their momentum from last season. But um, all three of these guys definitely deserving, merely Icon and Clamps. But our player of the week for the Challenger League, it is going to go to Merely from Spectre. So he's going to be the player of the week. Congratulations, Merely. He absolutely popped off this week. 553 score per game. He was averaging 2.0 goals per game in his 7 games played. That's just absolutely insane. Shooting 58%, averaging an assist per game and 1.43 saves per game. So he was over one of all the stats in his game. So merely, I mean, he's definitely super deserving there for Player of the Week.
Yeah, 58% shooting is definitely no slouch. that's
Yeah,
that's yeah, you got to
yeah.
watch out for that guy in the upcoming weeks.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on him. So congratulations to Merely on a Player of the Week for Challenger League. And up next, we're heading to Rival League. And Bagels, what can you tell us about our Rival League candidates?
Yeah, I'm definitely more knowledgeable about the rival and the Titan League one, so I recognize King Bob and Benji, and both of them had really good weeks, and they're both 2-0 in their team records as well. So I think it's kind of a race between King Bob and Benji on this one.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Yeah. So the other candidate that we have on there is Magic from Blaze. He's also 2-0. But yeah, both these guys, we've heard a lot about King Bob. I'm sure if you guys watched the week in review, you know the intro about King Bob. That was a little bit funny from Eminem there. But yeah, so we got King Bob, Benji, and Magic. And the player of the week that we decided on, we have decided to go with Magic for our player of the week from Blaze. And Magic, 402 score per game, 1.33 goals per game, so averaging over a goal per game, shooting 41%, 0.78 assists, and 1.11 saves per game, leading his team to 2-0. And he definitely popped off this week. And in our opinion, I think he was the most deserving. But Benji and King Bob definitely close runner ups there.
Yeah, I'm just sad that King Bob didn't win just because old team bias on the Ninths. Very biased this stream.
Sometimes you got to have a little bit of bias. I understand. But last but not least, we take it to the Titan League. This will be the first ever Titan Player of the Week, and we've got three candidates on there. And one that we actually have in the call right now. What can you tell us about these candidates, Bagel?
One of them is me, and the other two are going to be Fishy and H, who both had really good performances in week one. H was on stream, and I was casting that series against the Dragons, and he was just absolutely dominating. I think there was one game where he was 5 for 5. I think it was game two. He just had 5 goals and scored all of the goals. And that was a Dragons team that didn't look that good. And they also played, I know H and me both played Gravity, who isn't looking the best right now. So I don't know if the votes are going to take that into account or what. But Fishy, his team is the only one that has a 2-0 record. So that's something to look at.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Fishy 6-1 game record for him, which led Grandmasters to 2-0. One thing that hurt Fishy though, 21% shooting. I think that's what really hurt him. But Grandmasters definitely 2-0, large part due to Fishy. So yeah, three solid candidates. Got Bagels, Fishy, and H. But our player of the week is definitely deserving in our opinion. It's going to go to H from Venganza. He absolutely popped off this week in the Titan League of all places. 1.29 goals per game, 1.57 saves per game. So this man, a defensive wall, averaging 475 score per game. He really popped off there. Definitely one of the top players in Titan League, and early look at definitely potential for All Star there. All three of these guys for sure, but H is going to take home the Player of the Week.
Yeah, as Eminem made it very evident in the weekend review that I had 4% more shooting than him, and I don't think 4% shooting is enough for me to take it away from him. I think he definitely had a slightly better week than me, and we'll look for him to keep it up in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see.